So Nikki Haley announced her run for president in the Republican primary, and she's been struggling, man. She's had some issues right out of the gate. I don't think she anticipated this massive backlash to her campaign. She doesn't have a constituency. Her constituency is wealthy Republican donors who are trying to force her down your throat. Because, Democrats don't like her, the left doesn't like her, independents don't like her, moderates don't like her, Republican voters don't like her. They're either Team Trump or Team DeSantis. And so who's left? It's nobody. It's the elites in the Republican Party and some media people, but even the media people are not, they're asking her real questions. For example, why are you running? What's the point of this? Well, this is now, the fourth time she's been asked this question or some iteration of it. And look at how she responds.
Okay, so I want to put up something from the Wall Street Journal this week. They said you had a great day, your great rollout day, but they said you have to provide a rationale for your candidacy that you haven't done yet. They said you've got to answer this question about why you versus anybody else in the GOP field. They're talking about the fact that you say, America first, America should be powerful. Those are things that any GOP candidate is going to say. So why you?
Why not me? I am the wife of a combat veteran. I'm a mother of 2 children, one who's getting married, and I see how hard it is for her to look at buying a home. One that's in college, and I see what he's dealing with woke education. I'm the daughter of immigrant parents who are upset by what's happening at the border. I don't want to wait for someone else to fix this. I want to make sure we get in there and fix this. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an accountant. I've never worked in D.C., and I think it's time that we start putting a fire under what's happening in Congress. I think we need term limits. I think we need mental competency tests for people over the age of 75, and I think we need far more transparency than we're seeing today. And what I do strongly believe is the American people need options. I don't think you have to be 80 years old to be in Washington, D.C., and I think it's time for us to start getting aggressive, getting back to what it means to end socialism in this country and end the defeatism that has taken over us the past few years.
Okay.
What a terrible answer. What a horrible answer. Here, let me sum up what she said. Why are you running? Me, the gloriousness of me, yes. I'm a woman. I'm a person of color. I'm the daughter of immigrants. And I'm not old. Wow, really impressive. Here, let me explain something to Nikki Haley. This is politics 101 in the modern day and age. It's going to be it's a little crass. It's a little, to the point, but it's real. It's very blunt, but it's real. Literally, nobody gives a fuck about you. Nobody cares. Now, Nikki, it's okay. Nobody gives a fuck about me. Nobody gives a fuck about Dave. Nobody gives a fuck about Steve. Nobody gives a fuck about Susan or Barbara or Gerald or Greg. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's about the people. It's about them. So when she loves to go through her bio and daughter of immigrants and, I have a daughter and she's having a hard time buying a home, bro. Yeah, hard time buying a home, bro. To which everybody's at least Trump, for all of his flaws, was entertaining. I mean, you'd wake up on a random Tuesday and he's on Twitter shitting on Barbara Streisand or something. Or Bette Midler. And you would hate it, but you'd also like it because it's just funny, right? She's got nothing going for you. Got nothing going for her. And she mandatory. Republicans cannot go more than 3 sentences without saying the word woke. Yeah, it's all they know. Something woke. There was a story that just came out. Trump's budget director released a budget, what they want to see. They used the word woke in the budget 77 times. Bro, we got to cut all the woke spending. So funny enough, they leave Social Security and Medicare, good, but they literally cut every other government program. Every other anti-poverty program, everything you could think. Cut, which is so funny that he acts like, I'm looking out for the working people. I'm not going to cut Social Security and Medicare, but I will cut literally every other anti-poverty program that we have. Why? Bro, this is woke. It's woke spending. To make sure kids can afford a meal is woke. I'm against that wokeness, bro. And I love the mandatory shot at socialism. I love it. These people have nothing. Here's the buzzword that's supposed to make you scared and poop your pants. I want to end socialism. But what does she mean by that? First of all, she would call, like, and I think she did in her launch video, she had, like, Kamala Harris as a socialist, like. But effectively what she means is she would cut Social Security. She would cut Medicare. She would cut Medicaid. Mike Pence is out there saying the exact same thing. They're distinguishing themselves from Trump by saying, we are worse. I just want everybody to know we are objectively worse. We want your grandma to not be able to pay the bills. That's Nikki Haley, want to make sure your grandma can't pay the bills. Why? Because, I don't know, end socialism or something. Jeez. Our most socialistic president ever, FDR, won 4 times. And under his leadership, Democrats held the House and the Senate. 80% of the House and the Senate. So, I don't know, maybe your meter's a little off here. Maybe you're, she's such a donor creation, man. And I really, like, I actually take offense at the stupid, like, oh, they're old, bro. These people are old. I don't care if they're old. I care about their policies. I don't care if they're old. I don't. Joe Biden, if he was literally in a coma, is better than Nikki Haley. Now, I'm not saying Biden is good, because he's not. He's just better than Nikki Haley, which is like being the tallest kid in kindergarten, granted. But still, I don't care about that stuff. So what on earth would make Nikki Haley think that leaning into identity politics stuff is going to work in a Republican primary? That shit doesn't even work in a Democratic primary. For all the talk of, like, Democrats are obsessed with identity politics, really? The base picked Joe Biden, the old white dude who doesn't even know where he is, and he says stuff like, you can't go into a 7-Eleven without seeing an Indian guy behind the counter. That's who the Democratic voters picked. You think Republican voters are going to be like, yes, Nikki, I will vote for you because you're a woman and a person of color and the daughter of immigrants and you're young. Jesus Christ. Even the media is not buying her BS, which is hilarious. Because if you asked me beforehand, I would have said it's the donor class and the media that's going to love Nikki Haley. But honestly, I think they rightly view her as, like, you're just getting in the way of, like, DeSantis, somebody who might actually be able to beat Trump. You're just getting in the way. That's what you're doing. And I think that's true. I think that's true. So she doesn't know why she's running. No, here's why she's running. I'll say it again. It was my very first comment. Me, the gloriousness of me. Did you know that I'm me? Me, yeah. Yes. Just go away, Nikki. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.